Good morning,
Oh,
everyone. Sound check, sound check. Anna, can you hear me?
yeah. Can you hear me for all?
Yes, I do. Yes, thank you so much, and I'm happy that there's no feedback. But let me just share this to social media that we are live now. And
Yeah.
today, guys, we're going to talk about insurance. Our co-host Kay is not available at the moment. She might join us later, but we'll find out. But so today we're going to talk about insurance basics. Please join us in our live show today. Welcome to DNP Unlocked. And please share this to your friends, tag your friends in the comment section. We are streaming live in my social media channels in Facebook, in LinkedIn, and in YouTube. Welcome to the DNP Unlocked, the show where we demystify the world of immigrant nursing, and today we're going to talk about insurance for our dedicated community of immigrant nurses. As you navigate through the complexities of our noble profession, we understand how crucial it is to have a solid safety net. That's why tonight we're delivering into the essentials of insurance from health to life, car to renter, malpractice to supplemental. Our goal is to arm you with knowledge that ensures your peace of mind so you can continue to care for our community while being well protected. Whether you're on the front lines or supporting patients behind the scenes, DNP Unlocked is here to shed light on the best ways to safeguard your future, your finances, and your family. Sit back, relax, and let's unlock the world of insurance together. Welcome to the DNP Unlocked.
Hello, everyone. Good
And
morning from New York. Here, getting
yes,
everything's getting cold.
right. It started getting colder here in Texas too. Good morning, Anna. Um, but yeah, we're still waiting for Kay, so hopefully she can join us in a little bit. But thank you for being here, Anna. And the time change was a little confusing, but I'm happy about the 1 hour extra hour of sleep. That's always welcome.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
Anything that can help us stretch a little more time is very good. For
That is
all,
true.
can you
Yep.
believe it? It's
Yes.
November already.
I
2023 is
know.
almost
Yes, and I
being
miss you guys.
goodbye.
Yep. Last week we were not able to do the show because
Mhm.
we only do 4 shows a week, and October has 5 Sundays, of course, so we didn't get to do the show. But I missed you guys.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for supporting Dr. Nurse Paul and Nurse Anna and Traveling Nurse Hacker. Thank you for supporting DMP Unlocked. We've already done 6 episodes in the past, Miss Anna, right?
Wow, can you believe it? We were just talking
Yeah,
about it. We were just conceptualizing about it. And now look how far. I received a lot of messages from nurses that they were very
right,
thankful that we have this DMP a lot. It helped them a lot because it comes from a real nurse, a real
right,
immigrant nurse. And,
right,
as our title, disruptive, their lives were being disrupted by our information that we learned from our personal experiences. And this is one of our advocacy. We are not getting paid or sponsored, but we are happy to share what we've learned to help you to prepare if you're aiming for American dream or if you're already here in the US. Um, there's nothing to lose. Knowledge is power, as I always say, and you can always create the life that you want by learning from our every Sunday talk show. And like what Dr. Nurse Paul said, today is a very productive day. One of the most asked questions. One thing about American Dream is insurances, right? Dr.
right,
Nurse
right.
Paul. I don't know how
Very
many
important.
insurance
Yeah.
we have.
Right. Very important to talk about it. I'm just sharing it in my social media and in Lefora to Anna, the group that we administrate. But today we're going to talk about all the insurance must-haves. There's tons of different insurances, but we're going to talk about the most important things that will help our immigrant nurses. So basically, our show is all about immigrant nursing, and it's gonna be the show will be targeting the audience, which is our audience, which is the immigrant nursing. So we're gonna be focusing on six key topics today, which is going to be health, what's the other one? Life, car, renter,
Renters.
malpractice, and
Mm-hmm.
supplemental. Hello, good morning, Milani. Milani is one of our students in Aspire, and she passed the NCLEX.
Oh,
Congratulations. Sheila is also
congratulations,
here.
Melanie. Oh,
Sheila
I just
is
want to say hi. Miss Sheila's watching. Miss Sheila.
yes. Sheila is a nurse. She's also very advocating for our immigrant nurses for
Yep.
insurances. And she got me a really good insurance. Thank you, Sheila. Gian is also here. Hi, Sir Gian. How are you?
Hi
And
everyone.
he's my
Please
friend.
don't forget to share the
Yes.
knowledge, share the blessing for your friends, your neighbors, your relatives. Will know about insurance. You cannot escape insurance in the US. It's a
Yes.
part of
And
life in here.
right. And this is a very important topic, Anna, because people think that insurance are not needed. That is not true, especially if you're an immigrant nurse and you're just settling in to the US. You need those insurances. The good part is, as full-time employees coming in here to the States, there are benefits that you can actually get from your hospitals. But you can always check third-party companies to compare, and you always pick what's best for your own personal situation. There's no one size fits all, particularly in the
Mhm.
financial world. So don't believe anyone who will tell you this is the best for you. That is not true. You always go down to your budget, to your needs, specific financial needs, and you decide for yourself. That's the beauty with being able to advocate for yourself, because you actually know what you need versus someone just telling you this is what you actually need. But while waiting for more viewers, I have my friend here, Erica, one of the nurse practitioner friends that I have. She's also my nurse practitioner mentor. She's also one of the instructors for my company Aspire RN, together with Anna, of course. And
Hi.
I just want to answer why is it important to have these insurances? Insurance will protect your financial state, right? The good thing with insurances are those things that we don't want to use, but we keep paying for it, right? Like, yeah, we
But
keep
you
paying
want to
for it,
have
but we
it.
don't. You want to have it, but you don't want to use it,
You want to
kind of
use
like
it.
that. Right, right. So the thing with insurances is, um for a minimal fee, it protects you to a certain financial limit, right? So, for example, knock on wood, there's an accident or there's a dismemberment, right? You got amputated from an accident, or you had you've been diagnosed with a chronic issue, say cancer, or you lost your life, right? But you're just settling into the U.S. and now you owe like money from people who help finance your American dream, because a lot of our immigrant nurses are actually loaning money from sharks, from family members with high
Mm-hmm.
interest rates, because settling to the US is not easy, right? We tell them at least bring $5,000 to $10,000, or at least 1 to 3 months of expenses in case your job fires you, or in case you don't have a job coming into the US, because it happens most of the time. Um, but you see, if you owe that money and you die, your family is liable to pay for them, right? Uh, the insurances will protect you and your family, your financial, your estate and your family, to pay for these things when something happens to you. And we're not only that example is only for life insurance, Anna. There are other insurances. Like, for example, we talk about health insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
You are 6 months into the US and you were diagnosed with breast cancer, knock on wood, most common cancer in women, and you have to go chemotherapy. Chemotherapy would cost 100,000 a
Yep.
month, and the doctor says you're gonna do it 6 times. That's instantly 600,000 only for chemotherapy, not including imaging and
Lab
visiting
work.
doctors multiple times and
Mm-hmm.
lab works and therapies. Now you need $1 million. But if you have health insurance, you have out of pocket maximum. Say, for example, $8,000 a year, and the rest is covered by insurance, right? So that's something that you want to pay but you don't want to use, but it
Mm-hmm.
comes handy for when those things happen, right? It's what I call safety net, right? For example, if I have all these insurances and I pay for all of them $500 a month, and I pick up an extra shift to pay for them, for example, right? But that covers me for up to say 1 million in my umbrella, 1 million for my life insurance. Maximum out of pocket for my health insurance is $8,000, and the rest they pay for it. So with my car insurance, I'm covered up to 500,000. So that means I'm protected to that certain amount, right? If something were to happen, they're not gonna take my assets. They're not gonna take my house. They're not gonna take my money from my bank, from my investment accounts to pay for it, because the insurance will pay for it. So those are only two of the biggest examples, health and life. You also talk about car. If you hit, for example, I'm not very good with cars, but tell me a very expensive color, a Maserati, right? A
Yeah.
Maserati for like two hundred thousand
Mm-hmm.
dollars, right? And you're new in the U.S., you only have $500 in the bank, and that's your emergency fund to pay for your rent next month. In short, if you lose your job today, you won't be able to pay for your rent and food and whatnot. And you hit a Maserati, and now the Maserati is valued 200,000, and your insurance only covers you $30,000 because you paid $30, $50 a month because your friend told you, oh, get this cheapest insurance. You don't have to pay for that $90 insurance. Get this $50 insurance. It's cheap. It gets the job done, right? What you didn't know is you're underinsured, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the insurance only cover 30,000, and the person that you hit sued you to pay for the remaining amount, and now you owe
Yo, another.
170,000, right? So it's not only about insurance as well, it's also being adequately insured as well. So those are the things we're going to talk about today. I've only given you a glimpse, examples of why these things are important, but I'm a huge advocate of insurance. As a young person, when I was in my 20s on my first few jobs, I didn't worry about insurance. You know, when you're on your first job, you want all your money in your pocket,
Mm-hmm.
right? I wish I had learned this early. I didn't learn financial independence and financial literacy until I came to the US, because I want to be smart about my money. But let's say my first 10 years as a career person from 20 to 30, I burned so much money that I could have saved, I could have invested, I could have put in insurance when I was very healthy and no diagnosis and not taking meds, and I could have saved so much money. That's what I want you guys to learn from. Put your money in investments, and today we're also going to talk about insurances as early as you can, because you can never know what will happen. If there's something I learned from working in the ER for years, is your life is not guaranteed. Something can happen today. It could be a car accident, and now you're in the hospital for 2 months because they have to do an internal fixation with wires and rods, and you're hanged
Mm-hmm.
in a bed in the ortho unit, and you can't work, and you don't have disability insurance, or something happened in your apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your pipes busted and it leaked to your neighbor, and because you live in a multi-story complex, you're in the fourth floor, the water flowed down until the first floor, and now you affected 6 units, and the total for repairs for 6 units is 200,000, but you don't have renters insurance.
Insurance.
So be careful about these things. I feel like immigrant nurses, and especially every nurse, actually, this is for all nurses. You know, the bad thing with nurses, we were taught to be masters of um, the human body and health, but
Mm-hmm.
we were never taught how to be financially smart and protecting our
Exactly.
assets, including our own health. So be smart about this. I feel like the immigrant nursing community can benefit from this show today, because we're going to talk about the importance of these insurances.
Wow, a lot of points, and that's only a welcome remarks over this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
before there's all, I wanna give shout out for all my classmates. Okay, this
Yeah,
past
right,
few
right.
days we were online from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. As all you know, I'm doing my master's with Australia University, and I would like to say hi, hello for all my classmates. We don't have sleep yet. We just
Yeah,
finished our comprehensive
right.
examination, and they're
Yeah,
still watching me and supporting us. Thank you for my classmates, Man, GL Bat 7. Thank you for watching every Sunday. They always watch our show. They learn more and they're also preparing for their American dreams. We
Right.
had 2 days of comprehensive examination, like 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Oh my god,
Right.
non-stop. But I know that we're gonna be passed, right, classmates? They were saying hi to
Right.
me on our group chat. Thank you so
Right.
much. Thank you.
Uh, and give our viewers a context of what course you're in, school or something like that. That way they know what's going on. That way they know
Oh,
they're not
yeah.
confused.
So
Yeah,
I'm doing my
because we have viewers
master's
from
in
everywhere.
yeah, I forgot about that. Master of Arts in Nursing in Wesleyan University. It's an online class from Philippines. I'm on my second year. Hopefully by next year after my thesis writing, I will be earning that last 3 letter at the end of my name. And I want to pursue in education. So that's another thing. And go a lot of for all a lot of people are also asking. I know we're gonna talk about it in the future topic. If the masters from the Philippines is accepted or equivalent in the US, and yes, they are. But we're not gonna talk about that today. It's another topic. But yes, if you're in school right now in the Philippines while waiting for the retrogression and you're doing your master's, don't worry, it will not go to waste. It will be accredited and evaluated in the US. It's equivalent actually to MSN. My MAN from Wesleyan University. You just have to do a little homework with company to evaluate your credentials.
Yeah,
That's
and we'll
it.
talk about that in another show. Uh,
Yes, I try
this show is
to
gonna be
control myself to give more
right,
information because I want to
right.
focus
That way we can.
on a hot topic insurances.
Yeah. So today we're gonna focus about insurances, and if you have questions or things that you want to know about immigrant nursing life, send me an email at info@drnursepaul.com. Maybe we can show it at the bottom. Info@drnursepaul.com, and we'll talk about. I mean, you can tell me what information you need, and we'll probably put that in future shows. But definitely, this is
Mm-hmm.
only episode 7. We're going to talk about insurance today. We're going to have more shows that we can talk about in the future. Okay. And
We have a great
anyway,
lineup for all the immigrant nurses.
right. And Anna, what do you think about the importance of insurance? Since I shared about insurances earlier.
Oh my God, Corporal. I know that since we came from the Philippines or whatever country you are, but I just want to give an insight about an immigrant that came from the Philippines. I am not aware of any insurance. I worked in the Philippines for 12 years as an OR nurse. I never had any insurance at all. Health insurance, renters, I don't know all of those. So when I arrived 8 years ago in New York with my family, we have no friends, no relatives. We don't know how to drive. The first insurance that I've learned is health insurance. And then the second one is the renters insurance. So when we apply for when we look for an apartment, the landlady asked me, okay, these are the requirements, and I asked her, what is renters insurance? Why do I have to have that before you can let me, rent for your apartment? And then she explained it's a must in the U.S. Like in my 8 years here, and I help other nurses secure their apartment. Um, it's a must. Number one requirement aside from your down payment from your social security or your information, your status as a nurse, is a renter insurance. And for all, let me just share about renters insurance because I was living in an apartment for a few years, and every year I got renewed. And one time we got a fire, but not in our floor, the second floor. But some of our staff were being affected. You know what? They pay for all of it. Whatever inside your apartment, you have your collections of bags, purses, shoes, or you have toys collection. You have to write them one by one when you apply for the insurance. If they wanna see, they wanna know how many stuff you have gonna have to cover. And one of my favorite one of my favorite bags, got burned. It was by smoke that really burned, and they pay for it. They reimburse it. So imagine if you don't have the insurance. I mean, who's gonna pay and cover for all those stuff that you have at home? And then they also pay for our overnight stay in a hotel because they have to do a little renovation, a little replacement of the affected things in the apartment. So it's a must. So if you're a newly arrived nurse from the Philippines or whatever country you're from, and you won't have extra money from the renter's insurance, and something happens, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. You're gonna it's a stressful insurance. Let me reiterate it. It's not an investment. It's a protection. Like the partner all said, it's something that you want to have it. It's a must to have it, but you don't want to use it. But at least you just have it. It's like a security blanket that whatever will happen in your health, in your apartment, or in your car, or something happen at work. That's why we're gonna talk about malpractice insurance. At least you have something for it. So I am asked to talk about the malpractice insurance and the supplemental. So let me go over it first. Malpractice. What is this malpractice? So I hope you don't mind me with my notes. But I'm improved now. The corner full. I tried to use my notes from the phone. I'm trying to get away from the notebook. Okay, as a nurse. Okay, Miss Anna, now we have health insurance. We call the partners all gave a little insight about that. And we also mentioned about the renters. As a nurse, especially if you're an immigrant nurse, it's a must also to have a malpractice insurance, also known as nurse professional liability insurance. You came from the US, you waited how many years to get here, and we're not really from here. We go to our school of nursing in the Philippines. We're not really aware of the jurisprudence, right? And everything is new. Although you have an orientation, they show you about the policies, but still working in a different country is a whole new world. And in the US, I'm not here to scare you. I just want to be honest that US is a land of taxes, insurances, and lawsuits. So now as a nurse, everything is new, cultures, you're adjusting, even if you have the orientation, something will happen. But it's not really your fault or you don't really mean to make any negligence or malpractice. So you must have a malpractice insurance. It's a yearly coverage and it depends on what kind of nurse you are, if you're a hematology, there's different prices for that. Right now in the US, I'm not promoting any company, but right now we have MSO. It's an insurance, and so they also have another one, which I'm gonna put the link later on for you to check it out. And I'm only paying 105, and I'm from New York. But you can also add if you're an MP or an RNFA. Okay, so malpractice, what does it cover? It will cover legal costs. So if something happens, someone sue you, it will help you cover that cost. You don't have to pay out of pocket. So I know someone asked me this. Mama Anna, I'm working in a hospital and they have already a malpractice insurance. And they told me that it's one of my benefits that they will help me if something happens. I know, but from my experience, and I know the partners will share something later about it's better to have your own malpractice insurance and not from your workplace. Because wherever you are, whatever happens, at least you have your own. And when I was a staff nurse in one of the hospitals in the US, during my orientation in HR, they said, "Oh, you don't have to buy or get your own malpractice insurance. You got it covered. It's one of our benefits." But there are a lot of employees in the hospital. You're not the only nurse working in there. Imagine if those malpractice insurance were consumed, were used by other nurses, and now it's your turn to use it, and they will be like, "Oops, Anna, I'm sorry, we matched up the insurance," or "You gotta wait in line." That's why I advise you to please get your own malpractice insurance. I know it will cost another money from your pocket, but like what I said, insurances are protection, not investment. And it will also provide financial protection, like what I said, in an event of lawsuit. If a patient is suing you for this X amount, you don't have to sell out of pocket. And as well as for license. Remember, nurses, we have license. You took the NCLEX. You review, you prepared from the NCLEX. It took you a while to get the eligibility, and then you pass it. And you came from a US fresh nurse from whatever country, and you made a mistake, and you have no insurance malpractice. So what's gonna happen? In the US, it's a must. You cannot work without NCLEX. And one thing to protect your hard-earned license is to have a malpractice insurance. And they also have policy limits. So that way you can choose whatever amount you want. So when I was in RNFA school, my hospital that I was doing my clinical, they require more coverage. So before I was only got covered half a million as an OR nurse. But then when I went to RNFA school, they want 1 million. You will add up a little like $5 more in your policy. Okay, so I think I covered about malpractice insurance. So if you have a question about it, if I renew, have it renewed automatically, so you will not forget about it. It's a must as a nurse, as a hard-working nurse that you work hard for and license for. Protect it. Have a malpractice insurance. Okay, next one on my note is supplemental insurance. I know we have a lot of insurances, and this will help you a lot when you're preparing for your US or your American dream. So,
And sorry,
supplemental.
I'll interrupt you for a minute. Um,
Okay,
I'm sorry.
it's
Um,
okay.
no, no, no.
I got overwhelmed
I
with
was
my
trying to message.
insurance.
Yes. I was still in the welcome remarks actually earlier, and I gave an
Sorry.
overview. Yeah, my question was what what are the importance of the insurances? But I think the supplemental should go last because that
Yes,
will be
okay,
like
supplemental
yep.
list.
Yes, because it might confuse our viewers. We haven't talked about health insurance yet, and supplemental talks about disability insurance. I think health insurance would precede
Yes,
that
yes.
first. And I'm so sorry, but I was still doing opening remarks to bring in more
I'm
viewers,
sorry,
but
DrNurse. Oh, my
we got a
apologies.
little
I got
confusion.
so
No, you're good. You're
excited.
good. No, you're good. So we're following a flow, guys, but we got a little confused with the flow
Yes.
today. So yep, I
That's
have
what
to
happened when you won't have a
catch
flu.
catch Anna. Plus we also should have Kay today, but she didn't come in, so we're gonna split
Yes.
our topic, I guess. But let me start with health insurance. So Anna talked about malpractice, which I think is
Mm-hmm.
very important, and I agree with her. That's professional liability. If you get sued and you don't have professional insurance, your employer would have insurance, but they can ditch you. Seen in the most recent cases involving nurses, their employer insurance didn't cover them, and so what happens was they were off the hook and they have to pay all those fines and penalties. But now I'm going to talk about health insurance, which I think is one of the most important for immigrant nurses. The good thing is, if you come here to the US, your employer would provide for you a health insurance. Now, if it's good financially or not, if it's expensive or low cost, is what I'm not sure about. So, the thing with health insurance is if you work for a big company, especially if you're a direct hire for a big company, like for example, my company that I used to work for is part of Forbes 500. I have a very good insurance. I was only paying, um, I think that was 50 or 30 to $50 per paycheck, so that's like $100 a month. But what you want to look for is there are several things that I put on my notes, and I have to open it up right now. The first thing that you need to look for in your health insurance is the benefits. Like what is it covering, and is this what you need for you or your family? For example, are you a pregnant woman right now, right?
Mhm.
So you want to look at the benefits for pregnancy, for childbirth, right? For kids, are they covered with preventive services? So those are the things you want to look for first. So I honestly review the documents first. I know a lot of people like to sign papers without reading. It's always in the fine print that they will catch you, and we've already talked about that multiple times in the contract. The same is true with financial vehicles like insurances. Read it. Is this the one that you need? There's usually multiple tiers that you can choose from the cheapest to the most expensive. And always remember that the cheapest always offer the lowest coverage, and the most expensive always offer the most coverage. So check that. Like for example, on my first year, I've only been here. On my first year, I came in March. I started working March 20. So I only have 9 months left. I took the cheapest insurance. All right, so that's $30 per paycheck. And then the following year, I know I was gonna get a tonsillectomy because in the Philippines, my doctor already told me you need a tonsillectomy, you need this, you need this, you need that. I was like, okay, I'll just wait to go to the U.S. and do it there because there's better insurance coverage there. So on my following year, I got the most expensive insurance where I pay $60 per paycheck, but my deductible is only 500, and they paid for my tonsillectomy $30,000. I only had to pay 500. So something like that. Check what you need. Are you fairly healthy? You may benefit from low coverage health insurance, right? What you're gonna look for is premiums. That's what I said first. The cheapest or the most expensive. There's usually tiers. The deductible. When I say deductible, this is the amount of money that you have to pay first before the insurance starts paying for something. So the cheapest insurance, which would always have high deductibles. I've seen insurances, and I worked in the ER, that are ridiculous. That like your deductible is $8,000, which means you have to pay $8,000 first before your insurance would pay anything. So for me, if that's your insurance, just get rid of your insurance entirely. You don't need it. Primary care services are not that expensive. Just go get short-term catastrophic hospital insurance instead, because the insurance is just ripping you money. Another thing that you look for is copay and co-insurances. Copays are set amounts that you need to pay, and co-insurances are percentage that even though you've already met your deductible, you might still be due for that. For example, even if you meet your deductible, say for example $1,000, you still have to pay 20% co-insurance. So if your hospital bill is 10,000, you still need to pay 2,000. But there's also what we call the fourth one is out of pocket maximum. Out of pocket maximum is the maximum amount that you will pay no matter what happens per year, as long as you're covered by insurance. So if you meet this maximum, everything else is paid by insurance. So for example, even with your deductible, copay, co-insurance, if we combine all of them together and that reaches your out of pocket maximum, that's all you got to pay. So all of these things you got to look at. I'm pretty when I check a document, the first thing I look at is numbers. All right, for whatever reason, I'm always drawn to numbers, and because that I need to make it make sense for me first. So that's what you need to look. So the cost, which is what I've said, and the other one is also look for coverage like networks, right? Is this covering your previous doctor, or is this covering the specialist that you want to see in the future? Because some insurances are bad, terrible. The layman's term or the street word here is crap, all right? It's not good because it doesn't cover the thing that you need. What if you need mental health services and your mental health services coverage is zero? What if you need OB-GYN services or childbirth services and your childbirth services is zero? Right? So monitor for that, check that, and of course check for additional benefits. Does it give you vision and dental? Those are the things that you want to look for health insurance. And we can talk about that in a separate show by itself. But health insurance, I think, is one of the most important things because health is wealth. Remember that health medical expenses here can bankrupt you in the US. That's the truth. But if you're adequately covered by insurance, it can save you a lot of money. And the second thing that I want to talk about today is sorry, I got lost with the with the flow too. Life insurances. So life insurance is an insurance that will cover you if you die or you become permanently disabled, right, Miss Anna? We've talked about this in detail in the past shows that I did, but we're going to talk about that in this show again. So life insurances, there are three main things: term life insurance, whole life insurance, and universal life insurance. So term life insurance is the cheapest, but it cuts at a certain point. So say for example 25, 35 year coverage. And whole life insurance is permanent and it's definitely more expensive, which means for as long as you're alive, you're only going to pay it for a certain year. For example, 30 years. After that, you're fully covered till the end of the life. And universal life insurance or index universal life insurance is one of those insurances where they also invest your money. Do not get this type of insurance, especially if you're a new immigrant. This is the most expensive insurance, and 50% of your insurance fees go to your whoever recruited you. So if they're saying they're trying to help you, they're trying to help their bottom line, their bank account, you are their insurance. You know what I mean? You're paying for their life insurance. That's what it is. Okay, so anyway, that's not good for you. Go for term insurances. We're going to talk about that next week in red flags. Term insurances are cheaper. If you're otherwise healthy, you're gonna be well covered. My term life insurance, and hopefully nobody kills me for this because I'm just kidding. But you know the stories here in the states. They kill their partners, they kill their spouses, they kill their kids because of life insurances. But nobody would kill me because I'm still single. Well, I have a partner, and my partner is a very good person. Um, my
Yeah.
term life insurance, for example, Sheila. Hi, Sheila. You were here in the show earlier. She got me my term life insurances, and I have to have an uphill battle because of my existing conditions. I have what's this? Cholesterol. I have this, and that. So they were billing me so much, which I think for me is not fair because I'm otherwise healthy, except this some minor medical history, and I'm a medical provider myself. I've seen some of my patients that are way worse than I am that are more adequately insured than me. So finally, Sheila was able to get me a very good insurance. To give you an overview, my insurance is covering me $500,000. So my mom, if you're watching today, you're gonna get a portion of that. If I die, please don't pray for me to die. I'm just kidding. But I'm only paying $100 a month. Is that right, Sheila? I think it's 100 something dollars a month. So I mean, $100 may be big for other people. There are better insurances if you're younger
Mm-hmm.
and if you don't have medical history. Like I said, it's $100 because I have medical history. If you're in a clean slate, and this is the trick, all right? This is a
Mm-hmm.
trick. As soon as you get to the US, get a term life insurance right
Yep.
away because you don't have records yet. As soon as you go to the pharmacy and somebody sends you medicines, you're going to start having history because everything here is electronic. The first time I met a doctor and she diagnosed me with allergic rhinitis, guess what? It's in my record and the insurance side. You have allergic rhinitis. The second time I met a doctor, they diagnosed me with hypercholesterolemia. That's in my record now. The third time I went to the ER for chest pain and I was diagnosed with abnormal ST segment elevation in the EKG, and I was diagnosed presumptively with pericarditis. Guess what? I had to write a whole letter to the insurance company that my doctor medically cleared me. The EKG was fixed. I saw a cardiologist. They cleared me. It was a whole battle because of that ER visit. So every medical care scripts or prescription that you get, electronic, it's in an electronic clearhouse or database. They can see it. So while you're here in the US, when you're new, get an insurance right away. Two things. You can either get from private insurance, not your friends who's selling you IUL, and we're going to talk about IUL next week, not index insurance, not index universal life insurance. I'm talking about term. Or your employer also provides that to you. Like for now, I'm a full time nurse practitioner in one of the counties here close to Houston. My term life insurance in my company covers me $250,000, Anna. So my mom, you would get another life insurance. Mom, are you writing down all my insurances? I have a list of all my insurances, and iPhone has this, if something were to happen to me, my best friend will get the access to my phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's I forgot what it's called, but there's an emergency access. And I told my best friend, if something were to happen to me, please open that list of insurance and investments. My estate will take care of it, but at least he knows, who is going to or who is going to be receiving it because my mom was in the phone.
Oh, I
But
hope you have a
yeah,
living will, last will, and testament.
yeah, estate planning. Estate
Yeah.
planning. We're going to talk about that in one of the finances. So estate planning is
Yeah.
your estate. You have a lawyer that will distribute the money. All right. But hopefully, guys, I get to live a long life because I still want to serve the community. But for example, in my employer, 250,000 coverage, I'm only paying like $10. All right. So check that with your employer. The only bad thing there is once you quit your employer, that insurance is gone. When I was in my previous employer, as a nurse. My last full time job was 3 years ago because I started travel nursing. My insurance was 300,000. I was only paying $7 a month. All
Mm-hmm.
right. Uh, but term life insurances in private companies would range about 50, sometimes $30. I know Kay has $30 insurance for $1 million because she got it way, way before,
Me
and it
too.
covers her for 35
Mm-hmm.
years, and Anna too. So mine is expensive, and I was, it's a risk that I took because I didn't got insurance right away. I didn't thought about it in the past, and that's why I'm doing this show right now with Anna because I want
Yep.
you guys to learn from the missteps that I took. All right, that way you can make better informed decision. So talk about life insurances. We're going to talk about that in a separate show in the future, and that's it. The next thing that I want to talk about, and probably Anna can pick up the next, is this should be case topic: car insurance. All right, to give you guys an overview, I'm using my examples. Um, my car insurance, and hopefully nobody bumps into my car. My car insurance is 500,000 maximum. I have to get the maximum insurance because I have another insurance. It's called umbrella insurance. Knock on the wood, please nobody sue me. But after I'm saying too much. I think I should not be disclosing my financial information.
Yeah.
Insurance is such
Oh.
a different gig. But I'm adequately insured. I'm paying like $200 a month. That's not only because of my maximum insurance, but because the car is expensive. It's Tesla, and Tesla gets
Mm-hmm.
totaled very quickly because of the battery. So something like that. But when you guys pick a car insurance, there's a lot of online databases. I like Policy Genius. Policy Genius,
Mm-hmm.
please sponsor me and become my affiliate, please. Because they can check many different insurances from you, but ask a local insurance provider, friendly, non-opportunistic local providers. There are many opportunistic, non-friendly, what's this, insurance agents that are just trying to get money from hard workers, from the immigrants. Please do
Mm-hmm.
not fall to this trap. I've only been in a lot of discussions in online forums because of this. I call them the grifters, and not gifters. They're the grifters. All right, so be careful with these grifters. But research, right? Go to Geico or
Mm-hmm.
Progressive or Allstate, Costco, and these websites are super easy. What is the website of Geico? Obviously, it's geico.com, right?
Mm-hmm.
Allstate.com, Farmers Insurance, State Farm Insurance. Compare your rates. So what you do is you put your VIN number or what type of car you have, and choose your insurance levels. I know some people would say just get the state minimum. For example, in Texas, the state minimum is 30,000 liability, right? State minimum will protect you up to that limit. Like I said, if you bump into a Maserati, or let's not say Maserati, let's say Range Rover, $80,000 car, and you total that car, now they're asking you for $80,000. And how much were you covered? 30,000. You still owe them $50,000. Where is that money gonna come from? From your personal funds. The court can order the bank to take out your money or deduct money from your salary every month. That can be a court order. So be very careful. Make sure that with car insurance, car here is very important. We drive all the time, especially outside New York. New York is the only one with a very good subway. In Chicago, I think as well, and some of the and the East Coast cities. But not anywhere else in the US. Even Californians drive
Mhm.
a lot, Texans drive a lot, Floridians drive a lot, Georgians, Arizonians, we drive a lot. And we drive to work. All right. So our work is affected if something were to happen to our car and eventually our finances. So please be adequately insured with car insurance as well. And Paul is joining me. In Spanish, we call him Tocayo, if same name, and
Mhm.
from my LinkedIn, and he said, "How about health insurance of family members?" So when you go to your employer, they offer insurance for the employee plus family members. Now,
Family.
this is the tricky part. Usually, they only cover discounts for employees, right? For example, with my current state, as a nurse practitioner, my health insurance, by the way, Anna, is free because
Wow.
I work for a county. Like my previous insurance from the marketplace is $480 a month,
I'll
and
tell you
my
mine
insur
later.
yeah, my insurance just kicked in. It's free because I'm a county worker and I'm a
Mhm.
provider. I'm a nurse practitioner for the county, which means I'm a public health employee. If you think about it, the county pays for my insurance and I'm free for services from the county. The only time
Mhm.
I pay and the insurance still covers it is if I go to the hospitals here in Houston, which are private hospitals, and my deductible is only $500. So for me,
Mhm.
it's a very good deal. But if I bring in my spouse, now I'm paying $500 a month. The $500 a month is only for the spouse. For
Mhm.
me, it's free because it's covered by the employer. So just like in my other previous job as a nurse, right? My full-time employee as a nurse, my that was 2020 when I quit that job because I went travel nursing. That was 3 years ago. It might have changed because of inflation. My insurance was $60. That's the maximum. That's the highest insurance coverage. $500 deductible for myself. If I bring in a spouse, it becomes $350. If you think about it, the $300 was for the spouse. That's the actual cost of your insurance without discount. But because you're with an employer, you only get it for $60. This is just an example because you got the employer discount, the corporate discount. So the discount only applies to the employee, but your family don't get that discount. So it might be a little costly. But think about it, nurses. If you're paying $500, and this is the funny part, I've seen this as a meme, but this is actually the truth. I hope I can flash the meme, but I don't have it right now. But $500 or $1,000, I know Anna has something to say about that, for your family's insurance, that's like one or two shifts, right?
Yep.
Pick up that extra one or two shifts, you're paid for the insurance, all right? This is what I tell myself. If I pick up one more shift, that pays for $500 all of my insurance, and that's my peace of mind. I can sleep well at night to think that if I get into an accident tomorrow, knock on wood, I will have money. I don't have to work for 6 months because I have insurance. My car would be if it's totaled, I could pay for it because the insurance will pay for it. Something like that. It's for my peace of mind. Peace of mind is expensive. There's no
Yeah.
monetary amount. You gotta
Mhm.
make sacrifices. If I can just work one, I know it's not good to think about that way. But if I can just work one more shift, that pays out for all my
Mhm.
insurances. So think about it that way. That's your safety net. You don't want to get bankrupt because of one mistake, and that is not getting an insurance. And please, 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 I just want to clarify, I am not selling an insurance. I make money somewhere else. I make more money doing clinicals. This is my community service. I'm
Mhm.
only saying this because I've learned a lot of lessons getting an insurance over the years here in the US. And I want you guys to benefit from that knowledge. And if you have something else to share, you can always put it in comments or send me an email. Can we flash my email, please, if you have questions? info@drnursepaul.com. Send your questions there and I'll address it for you, or we can address it in the show. And what do you think about that, Miss Anna? I've shared so much, but I covered case topics too. Yes, Kay is
I know.
not here today. I'm so sorry.
The partner, oh, let's blame the daylight saving. It threw us off.
Yes, I know. I'm still honestly sleepy and so sluggish.
Me too. I feel like it's still my waking time, like 8 o'clock. But anyway, for all, very good point,
Let-
especially with
Hold,
the health
hold on,
insurance.
Miss Anna. Let's focus you real quick. I want the spotlight to be yours. Hold on. Um, hold on, our
No, let's
moderator.
share.
Okay, hold on. Let me click it. There you go.
Okay, good partners. So a lot of good points there, especially with the health insurance. And good partners all used to work in an ER, so he saw a lot of things about insurance. I just want to share, health insurance is a must. You can never go wrong with picking the right coverage for your family. When you're single, you only pay for yourself, but when you have a family, of course, the amount, the premium is the monthly price that you are paying for it. And like the partner Paul said, the cheaper is it's cheap, you're only paying a low amount, but it doesn't give you enough coverage, might as well not have an insurance. But let me share my personal experience with the health insurance. There are different types of plan, and I learned how from this. I didn't know there's a PPO, there's an HMO. So if you or your family member have a medical condition, make sure that what your plan will cover everything, and also make sure that your nearby urgent care or doctor is under or in network. Network means that doctor is accepting this kind of insurance. Out of network, it means that doctor is not uh, getting paid from the company from insurance. Of course, we're gonna pay more out of that. So those terms, premium, deductibles, like what the partners all said, out of pocket, maximum, PPO, the HMO, very important terms to learn, not just the amount of money that you're paying every month just to have a insurance, just to have something to protect you when you get sick. So 2 years ago, I got sick. I was out of work and I was in and out of urgent care, ER, hospital. I even brought to the hospital by ambulance. And the ambulance here, the nurse Paul, I don't know if you're aware, the ambulance cost 25,000. I know it's very expensive. I live in New York, so 2,500 is what I meant. And the total bill got accumulated during those 1 year of getting
1 year.
um like it cost me $150,000, but I never really shell out a lot of money because I have a very good insurance and 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 I have also supplemental that I will discuss later, but having both insurance will protect you, will give you peace of mind, and will help you later on. So what are their fault? Can I go on with the renter's insurance?
Yeah, hold on. Something happened to my. Yes, yes, of course. Something happened to my audio, but I'm trying to mute myself. If our moderator can please mute me, because I think it will cause a rebound. I'm fixing my audio issue. But yes, of course. But yes, wow, 2,500. I think here in Texas is $3,000 for ambulance. That's only
That's just
ambulance.
only 5 minutes away from my house. Like I could have called Uber myself.
And that is only transport fee. That does not
Yeah.
include beds or
No.
procedures that they did. If they did an IO intraosseous or
Mm-hmm.
it's a CPR code event and they're doing full code on you, that's also additional cost. So for every shock
Exactly.
cost. So
Yeah.
you get a bill shock. So we shock you 3 times, you get shocked 3 times as well when you get the bill. That's what I say. So
Exactly.
if you don't have insurance, if you have an insurance, that's your peace of mind. You can tell them, you know what, please, when I go down, please shock me as much as you can because I have a
Yeah.
good insurance. Something like funny, but it is the truth. I worked in the air, so it I feel sad. That's why I work in primary care now because I'm advocating for primary care. That way,
Mm-hmm.
prevent conditions before you end up being in the ER and relying on ER care. But I've seen patients that are very reluctant at receiving care because
Mm-hmm.
not because they didn't need a care,
Exactly.
they're worried about the cost. I told
Mm-hmm.
myself I never want to be in that position. I feel bad for them, but
Mm-hmm.
if I just pick up one more shift and that will pay for my health insurance, so I don't have to worry when the doctor says I need to take out your appendix. I'm not gonna say, how much is it? No,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
take it out. My life is more important than this, and my insurance will cover it. Thank you.
And I remember on our phone when we were in the Philippines, we have no insurance. So I remember if my mom or my father will get sick, sometimes like you're right, you don't want to go because you don't have the money. Now that we're in the U.S., why not work a little so you can pay and get it covered? So if ever you got sick, you're gonna be fine, right? So and someone asked me on my Facebook Messenger, Mom, as a traveler, how's your insurance? Well, as a traveler, you can still have insurance from your company or you can have your own private insurance. So as a nurse, we're a couple nurse. Me and my husband are both nurses, traveling nurses, and we want flexibility. So we got our insurance from Marketplace, and it costs a lot. Uh, Paul, you told me you were paying 400 before, right? As a family of three, me, my husband, my daughter, we were paying 1,900 in the state of New York. But our coverage is good. So it's a message here. It threw me out. Okay, so now I'm gonna cover the renter's insurance. So with the start of the show, I told you that I've been renting for a long time in New York. And one of the requirements they ask is the renter's insurance. It's a must to protect the apartment that you're renting and also from yourself. Renter insurance is a type of insurance policy designed to protect individuals who rent their homes or apartments from various risks and liabilities. So what does it cover? Personal property coverage. Example, it will cover your personal belongings, like what I said, including furniture, electronics, clothing, and other valuables. If you're collecting Louis Vuitton bags, goods, if something happens, it will be covered and you're gonna get paid and you can get another one. Liability coverage. This part of policy covering for legal responsibility if someone is injured in your rental property, like outside your port, someone sleep, especially if you live in a state with snow, or and someone sleep in front of your apartment, it will get covered too. And we have also loss of use. If you have a temporarily vacate your apartment, like what I said, we have to stay in a hotel overnight, like April, because they were doing some renovations because of the fire from the other floor. And personal liability also. Renter's insurance can protect you from financial liability in the event of lawsuit. Like what I said, the US is a land of not just honey and milk and dollars, but lawsuit. So you have to protect yourself. And deductibles, like other insurance policy, renter's insurance also have a deductible. It comes when the amount you must pay out of pocket before the insurance coverage is in. And there's also policy limit. Renter's insurance policies have coverage limit, so it's essential to review the policy, read it with the fine print, get a highlighter, read it, encircle those little words so you're gonna know, just sign it, just to have a rent or insurance, just pay it. No, just read it. Read what entails the policy, read what it covers you. Because when if something happened and you found out this type of accident is not covered in your renter's insurance. And it will also cover the replacement cost. And I mentioned that already. Okay, so like what I said, in New York when we arrived 8 years ago, we were renting, and before they asked for my deposit and before they asked for my documents like my green card, because before I have no credit score. FYI, here in the US, credit score is a must when you are renting, buying a car, or buying a home. But we're not gonna talk about that, just to let you know. They let me rent the apartment without having credit score, but they emphasize that I have to have a renter insurance, that it's a must. They're not gonna let me rent without it. So it's one of the requirements. So the partners all talk about the car insurance earlier. Here you can bundle it. If you have a car insurance from a company like Geico, State Farm, Allstate, you can also have a renter insurance from them, and so it will be a package, so you can bundle it, so it will not gonna cost a lot to you. Try to do that, not to have a separate insurance from this company or car and rent or insurance from this company. You're gonna pay more, so try to bundle it. At the same time, it will also save you some time. If something happens, you're only communicating with one company, not like if you have this certain type of insurance from this company or car, you have to call them, spend your time, and this or the rent or insurance. So when you're arriving in the US, you're gonna look for apartment, you're gonna ask for the rent or insurance, and you need a car, so you need to have a car insurance, and you're gonna work, so you need to have a health insurance. So those three number the three most insurance that you need to start your life as an immigrant nurse in the US. I know it's kind of overwhelming with all of these terms, with all of this insurance that we are not accustomed when we're in the Philippines, or I am not sure with other countries if they have an insurance. But back home in the Philippines, we don't have one. I worked in the Philippines for 12 years as a nurse. I never had one. So when I arrived here, it's a blessing and a curse having the insurance because we have to pay the premium every month. You have to get to know the policy of each insurance that you have. So you're not gonna cut off guard when something happen. And let me just share this from one of my friends, who's also Filipina. They arrived 4 years ago, and her husband and with their two twins. A few months, the husband was diagnosed with brain cancer, and they accumulated a lot of bills. But with the help of the health insurance, with the good coverage, they didn't pay a lot. But one thing that really struck me, the corner when she said this, I am so happy, Anna, that when we arrived, even if I have to work extra shift, we were able to get a term life insurance amounting to 1 million. So when my husband passed away, we were able to get that money from term life. Let me repeat, term life means term. There's certain years that you're gonna pay for it. 25 years, 30 years, 40 years. I think it was 40 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. So he told me, yeah, it's very sad that he no longer with us, but with this money that he left because of the term life insurance that they acquire when they newly arrive here, it helped them to get a house, and it helped them to, start all over again with that amount of money. So like what the partners all said earlier, when we arrived 8 years ago, the earth insurance that I got from us, aside from the health insurance, rent or insurance, is the term life. Only paying 40 dollars, and we are covered more than what we need. So please, for all the nurses coming here, especially if you have a family and you have a kid, stretch your budget, work a little extra, um, get the term life insurance. Yeah, we advocate for the term life, and the nurse all knows that to protect yourself and your family. If you have any questions about car or renters insurance, send us a message. I don't have a, you can send me private messages. It might take a while, but I will answer it. And if you want us to discuss more in depth topic about the insurance, we will love to help you or make your career and your American dream, better and good start. Right, Nurse Paul? Are you back?
I'm back. Yes, yes. Thank you. Can you guys hear me clearly? I'm sorry. I have
Yeah.
to restart my computer. It kind of froze on me. But yes, you're right. I agree with that, Anna. But all of these insurance are the things that we think immigrant nurses are.
Mm-hmm.
These are the things that you really have to put your money on, guys. The one thing that I tell my friends in the financial industry is you don't want to bet on your life to chances.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what? I'm going to take chances with my life. That's not something you want to do. I've seen a lot of people die in the ER, and you know what?
Mm-hmm.
When their families come in, there's I've seen a lot of people fight about finances, and that's sad when you're in debt or there's nobody who will take care of your family after you leave, or when you're disabled, or when your car is broken and totaled and you can't go to work. But I think as immigrant nurses, we need to be smart about it. We don't need to only be smart about providing top
Mm-hmm.
notch, high quality patient care to our communities, to our organizations, but also to be smart with our finances. At the end of the day, the the one of the reasons why we came to the US is for financial reasons. And that's the
Mm-hmm.
truth because we are not adequately paid from the countries we're coming from. I've not seen an immigrant nurse moving to the US because they're getting paid the same in their country. You know what I mean? A lot of
Exactly.
Western nurses that I've seen don't want to move here because they say, I'm getting paid the same here in Australia or in UK. Why do I have to move to the US? That's right. But people from Philippines like us, or my students from Sri Lanka, or Nepal, or Nigeria, or Kenya, or Argentina move to the US for one main reason, it's for financial benefits. But
Mm-hmm.
for that reason alone, then you have to be financially smart or adept as well. So insurances is one of those things you need to think about. That includes your health insurance and life insurance that we talked about, your supplementals, your malpractice, Anna, right? And she emphasized it very clearly earlier. I know Anna's one of those big advocates for malpractice insurance. And of course, your auto or car insurance and
Mm-hmm.
renter's insurance. And of course, renter's insurance is for renters. Eventually, if you get a home, you need to
Yeah.
have a home insurance as well, and fire insurance and stuff like that. And that's it. The main goal is to protect your assets, protect everything that you've worked hard for. So as I share my experience in insurances, I'm not selling insurances, but I am, knock on wood, insured for when things happen to me. I know my family will
Mm-hmm.
will be taken care of. I know my estate will take care of the debts
Mm-hmm.
and make sure that the debts will not take over my insurance money. Like, to be honest with you, Anna, if something were to happen to me today, knock on wood, I still want to serve the community for a long time. I feel like I still have so much to share. And like my house already has $100,000 equity, so
Mm-hmm.
that's additional money that my estate will get if the mortgage, I mean, it has to be sold because I depart. Knock on wood. My car has $10,000 equity. I don't have any loans right now that
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have equity. You know what I mean? Like, the point is, I know that my family will be taken care of if
Yeah.
I depart, or if something were to happen to me and I get a permanent disability. Knock on wood, I still want to serve the community.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Um,
my God.
and I'm a little very superstitious because I'm a Filipino, right? We're a very
Yeah.
superstitious community, but I know my estate will take care of my family. So that's one thing you need to think about, guys, to protect your assets and protect your family who rely on you.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when we arrive in the US, we have no friends, we have no family that can lend
Exactly.
us money here. Here, $1,000 will help you. You're not working, you're out of work, you're free. No, we have no like that like in the Philippines. We have you have long lost relative who owns a big acre of land that you can lend money. No, that's why we have insurance in the US to protect you and help you in times you need it. right? So, and I like the corners. Oh, we have to reiterate to them that when you arrive in the US, oh yes, I'm earning dollars, American dream. You have a new iPhone, you have a new car, you have a lot of Louis Vuitton bags. Okay, what about your insurance? Are you? Yeah, I have health insurance. I have this one nurse, newly arrived, or nurse Olga. I've been mentoring. Like, hey, I know you're excited. I know you're happy. You're blogging that you go to this place and go to buy this stuff. But are you really? Do you really have peace of mind right now? Especially because I'm a mom, and you're going you're not yet a dad, but with start, you know that if something happens with you, your poor baby will get it covered. Let me tell you, even my dogs have insurance,
Yes,
right? The
Anna, you're
corner.
right. Anna, thanks for hooking me up to your insurance with dog insurance. But yep, our dogs are insured. And
Mm-hmm.
Anna, I'm also gonna share something funny because
Mm-hmm.
you said about iPhones. Even my iPhone is
Have
insured.
insurance, right?
That's a funny thing. And yep, and even my material things, I don't want to talk about it, but
Yeah.
they are insured. So everything, all the assets that I have are insured. My dogs, myself,
Mm-hmm.
um, my family, my health, disability, my life,
Mm-hmm.
my car, my house, my personal liability, my practice. So all of these are insured, and I think that's a very smart move on our part, Anna, as immigrants and we're now citizens. But the point is,
Mm-hmm.
I think this is one of the things that we need to talk about in the community, and that's not being talked about a lot. Like it can be an expensive place to live in. All right,
Oh
I've heard
yeah.
Filipinos that say, you know what, when I retire, I just want to go back to the Philippines. I think the main reason why is because they don't have adequate money to finance themselves to live here when they
Mm-hmm.
retire. I'm not saying that's the only reason. I was asked before, where do you want to retire, the U.S. or the Philippines? My only answer was, and this was because it has always been my childhood dream, is to retire in the Philippines, but not because for financial reasons, but because I want to retire on an island that I developed,
Mm.
and that's where I'm gonna retire. I
Mm-hmm.
don't want a nursing home. I told my friends in the
Me.
yard, no nursing home. I want to buy an island. I've been obsessing with this very unrealistic dream, but who knows? Knock on wood. But I want to buy my own island and develop it, and that's where I want to retire. Something like that. And I think Palawan in the Philippines is such a beautiful place for
Oh
that.
yeah. I want Surigao.
Yeah, I
You
was
have
there in
the
the Philippines.
Palawan.
Yeah. The reason why I want Palawan is, Anna, my master's in the Philippines is disaster management, so I studied it a lot. There's no active
Oh.
volcano in Palawan. It's not sitting on an active fault line, so very rarely there would be earthquakes, and hurricanes do not reach Palawan because the islands of Luzon and Mindanao would dissolve it before it gets there.
Okay,
So there
let
was
us
that
be
trouble
neighbors, Paul.
there. And they have the most stable continental plate in Asia Pacific because they sit on a different continental plate.
Mm-hmm.
They sit in the continental plate. I think that's um, close to China. So not like the Philippines, because ours, the
Mm-hmm.
mainland.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's 7,000 islands. We have so many fractures, whatever. But anyway, that's the only reason I was in Palawan January this year when I visited Philippines, and I always visit Palawan. And I always ask the same thing when I go there. And after 5 years not being in the US, my first question to our tour guide is, what what islands among these that I'm seeing is for sale, and how
Mm-hmm.
much is it? Because I was like, I'm about to buy an island. The islands are much more cheaper than the house that I built in the Philippines. I was like, oh my god, I need to
Mm-hmm.
sell my house in the Philippines. But I mean, the islands are cheap. I don't know how is it legal for them to sell that, but it's private property. But of course, the logistical requirements
Mm-hmm.
to live in their electricity and houses and all that is probably what's the most expensive part. But yep, you can buy an island for $20,000.
Yep.
So yeah, but that was my dream. But honestly, going back to the insurance world, I think it's a smart move for immigrant nurses. to be advocates of themselves, and to be adequately insured for them and for their family. We've heard horror stories, Anna and Lefora, where they got sick and they have to sit out for 3 months and they don't have a job, they don't have savings. But guess what? If you have just paid that short term disability or
Yep.
extended disability for $10 a paycheck that you without because you didn't want to pay $10 because you feel like, oh, it's so expensive because I'm computing it in the Philippine money. It's $10. Relax. If you had paid that, it's every paycheck $20 a month because that will protect you during cases like this. You would have still gotten paid your salary weekly, bi-weekly, same amount depending on your coverage if you have just gotten that disability insurance. And you see, I didn't realize how disability insurance really is important until I've seen one of my patients in the ER who told me, I don't want to be sick because who pays for my rent? I'm not gonna have any, like monthly income. I don't want to be sick. I'm just gonna go back to work. Just don't tell me that I have fracture or something. I'm just gonna
Oh,
keep working. But that's a sad story. And
it is.
I think like you, when I'm new here in the US, I I didn't sign up for short term and long term disability insurance. That would have costed me $15 per paycheck at the beginning because I was like, that's extra $15 that I could have used from my pocket. But that $15 was easily 3 Starbucks cup. And I'm always in Starbucks
True.
every week before when I was not even living healthy before the cholesterol diagnosis, right? That's why I got a cholesterol
Mm-hmm.
diagnosis in the first place. And when I thought about it, I'm like, I'm spending what, $50 in Starbucks a month? And I told myself to not pay for $15 for short term and long term disability insurance. Well, if I get injured today, I'm not gonna have money to pay for everything. They're gonna take my car. They're gonna take my house. I'm gonna be a homeless American. I don't want that.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta be smart about your finances, guys. Put the money where your priority is.
Yeah. Exactly, good corners of a lot of people are asking me, so Anna, you've been in the US for 8 years. Are you rich already? I was like, rich? What do you mean? Rich? You have a lot of money in the bank. You and Ryan are both traveler nurses, or you're both getting paid weekly, so you're rich. And I told them, no, we're not rich, but we are protected, you know? Majority of my monthly bills, I love budgeting. I'm a planner person. I love ends. Almost 80% or 75% of our monthly expenses or bills goes for insurance. Because like what we talk about, health insurance, car. Now that we own a home, we have a home insurance. And I made sure being a homeowner is a whole new world. I'm not gonna talk about today. We're gonna have it on the other day, but it's
Welcome
a
to
whole new
the
world, nurses.
yep.
You have
Mm-hmm.
to have a great coverage owning a home. And when you own a home, it's like you're on your own. So it's a must too. And now you have this malpractice insurance, and we're both nurses. So I make sure that we have both annual renewal. So we're not gonna forget about
Auto
it, and then
renew.
something
Yes.
happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you're not covered, right? Oops. And then you're gonna regret later big time. And we have dogs. So the owners, oh, we got being said like this. Supplemental insurance. I have this for a while. When I was out of work, I was like a year. And then I know I didn't share this, but I got pregnant, then we lost the baby. It covered a lot when I was not working. Because you're on the bed rest and traveling nurse, you're getting paid every week, big money. And then suddenly you're not working and you're not getting paid every week. It's a big jump, big adjustment. But I think short term uh, insurance and long term because it helps us. It helps us to not really be in a financial chaotic state of life. Because you have insurance and I have health insurance that pay for our medical bill. And I'm not promoting AFLAC, but AFLAC have a lot of good supplemental insurance. I have a cancer insurance because we have a history like what DrNursePaul. I hope we're not gonna use it, but if time comes, at least we have it. And we have also have an accident insurance. We are a traveling nurse. We travel, even if we're not traveling out of state. We only have one car. So I'm mostly commuting using subway, using train, using bus. So if something happened, I quit. Who's gonna pay for it? You know, we only have one car up until now, and we've been here for 8 years because of the we have a transportation here. Even my Uber fare or my Lyft fare, they reimburse it. Can you believe it? The corners all of AFLOC reimburse all of it. All you gotta do is read the fine print, set aside a money for it. So, what are the supplemental insurance? Short term, long term disability, different. Like the different short term only, like 3 months only. And you won't pay a lot, but it only covers you like 500 to $1,000 in a month. But with the long term disability, you gotta get covered for the rest of your life. And please be reminded of the term elimination period. Elimination period means when is the time that the insurance will be effective or will kick in. So the longer elimination time that you opted, for example, I opted for longer elimination time. Like if I am not working for a year, I put it that the benefit or the money will be given to me after 3 months. Why? Because as a responsible person, aside from those insurances, you also must have an emergency fund. Okay? That's also part of your financial literacy, financial freedom, aside from those insurances. You also must have a emergency fund. So while waiting for your short-term um, insurance and long-term, at least we have a money that you can use while waiting for those things. Because it's not gonna happen overnight. Like, oh, I'm not working. Okay, here's the paper. So when you're gonna send the money after? No, it will take a little time, but they will surely pay for everything. Even my copay, $20, $10, they also reimburse it. They're gonna pay for it. So short term and long term, and like what Dr. NursePaul said, start early because you won't have a lot of medical issue or medical record. Like because once it hits, you go, oh, I may have a hyper, it will stay there for a long time, even if you say, but I won't take the vehicle load anymore. It's in your record, it stays there. And another supplemental is the accident. Like if something happened for you, you quit, something fell in your head, you broke a leg, they're gonna reimburse for it. And the cancer, if you have a history in your family, like me, I suggest to have that. And we also have critical care illness. Of course, before you go down, I hope that you're gonna get sick, critical care. You also have money for that. Someone asked me, Anna, are those not covered by health insurance? No, they're not. They're different. That's why they are called supplemental. To supplement your health insurance and to supplement your income, your finances. So, as a travel nurses, I wanna remind you guys, no work, no pay. Unlike when you're a staff nurse, you have a sick time, you have a PTO, but as a traveler nurse, yeah, some company will offer sick time, but not for long. So that's why we really made sure to have those insurances to cover in times of when you're not working. Again, be smart and be responsible with this. It's not all about just working. Pair or one overtime or pay for these insurances. Like the other day, I was doing my November budget for Paul, and I saw this before when I was starting to pay for all these insurances. I was like, I feel like it's just a waste of money. But then hearing and learning from other people's experiences, like one of my Jamaican CNA terminated her term life insurance, and something happened to her. Um, um, just to give you, I just want to touch a little about farm again. Farm life insurance makes sure that it covers not as a loss or war, the critical care, the acute. So they have different types of it. Just like reading your contract, read every bit of it, especially the fine print. What are there? Oh, did I miss something about supplemental? I covered short-term disability, long-term um, accident, cancer care, critical care,
Critical care,
illness.
yeah. I
Those are
think
the
that
supplemental.
covers. Yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
that covers it. And to be honest with you guys, the supplementals are actually not very expensive. If you're thinking health
Yeah.
insurance is 400, I think supplemental for me, my total supplemental for all of those are like 500. I'm 500. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
50 a month or probably less. But I got all the maximums because I'm getting my medical insurance for free, and that's a benefit for me because I'm a county employee. Like I said, if you're a county or state or public health employee, you definitely get your insurance paid for.
Mm-hmm.
So my insurance is free. But before, back when I was still full time, I had the short term and long term, and that was only like costing $10, $15, $20 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So not a lot. But that's it, guys. But we hope you've learned a lot. Kate just messaged us. She messaged us about 30 minutes an hour
Yeah.
ago that she couldn't come in because her kid is sick. So Kate, please take care. Thank you so much. And
Yep.
Anna, would like to thank you as well. I know you've been through a lot with your
Rough
comprehensive
with it.
exam. Yeah, in the Philippines, guys, Masters in Nursing is MAN. To give you guys an
Mm-hmm.
overview, the difference with the American Masters is in the States, the Masters is Masters of Science. Masters of Science is more practical or clinical based, so you don't need to do research as a final output. You just need to do a capstone project or a quality controller assurance project, something like that, a new project, a new nursing um, intervention, something like that. But in the Philippines, Masters of Arts, when you say arts, it's education or
Mm-hmm.
thesis based, which means the final output is a thesis. But in the Philippines, before we kind of go to the thesis part, you gotta pass your comprehensive exam. I know the feeling, and I took my comprehensive exam back in 2012, and whew, for my
I don't want to
master's
miss
degree
out
there.
the
So
call. Insurance is something very near to my
yeah,
heart because
yeah.
it helped us a lot immensely. And
You're right.
I just wanna give one more thing. Like someone told me, why do we have to have a long-term disability? We're gonna have a social security, right? Yes, you're gonna have a social security, but don't
After
rely on
65.
that. Yes, not until 65. There are a lot of
Yes.
misconceptions that are there all about
Yeah.
American benefits. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I just want to clear that.
Yeah. I would honestly get the long term disability. That is if for example you're out of work for 90 days, more than 90 days. So for
Mhm.
example, there are conditions that require you to sit out for 6 months or 1 year, especially orthopedic
Yeah.
procedures.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to sit up for 6 months, 1 year. Your work is not gonna fire you because of FMLA rule. You're still gonna be able to pay that insurance. But the question is, where is your monthly income going to come from? Social
Exactly.
Security will not kick in. Otherwise, the other option is for you to file disability. But when you file disability, can you really work as a nurse? Because now you
Yep.
have a disability issue, and that may limit you as a bedside
Mhm.
nurse too. So be very careful of these things, like what they say, careful what you wish for.
Yep.
But yes, I think these insurances are important. Like we said at the beginning, these are things that you want to have,
But
but
you
you don't
won't
want to
need.
use, knock on wood, right? But you'll never know because life is not promised, life is not guaranteed. Accidents happen. If you'll just shell out $100 a month for peace of mind, I would do it for myself. The decision is yours, guys.
Exactly. Wow, I enjoyed this topic even if we started a little.
Yeah, out of it because we're all out of it. We're waiting for K. I was panicking.
Yeah,
But
and the
it's okay.
daylight
And
too,
Anna, yeah, Anna, thank you for being here as well.
Mhm.
I appreciate you joining the show ever since we were conceptualizing DNP Unlocked. Like I said, I had to put out this show for a couple of months. I was doing my own talk show um, since last year. I had to go on break for almost 3 months because I was trying to reformat to not kind of reinvent the wheel, but to make it more engaging. And I
Mhm.
feel like I'm overexposed by myself. So I was like, you know what? I want to bring in people that will be as dynamic as me. And here you are, Anna, and of course, Kay. So
Okay.
Kay said, "I'm sorry I couldn't join." I said, "It's okay. We're spontaneous. We're flexible." So that's what I like about our interaction.
Yep.
If anyone of us is not able to attend, we're still gonna keep doing the show, and we're gonna miss Kay, but we're gonna see her next week.
And you know, she loves red flags.
I know
Maybe.
she was actually the one who was saying last week, what time is the show gonna start, or when are we gonna do the show? I was like, we're on a 1 week break. Okay, do
I
you
know,
miss it
right?
already? But now she couldn't attend because her kid is sick, and Anna, I was honestly thinking Anna would not be able to make it because she was taking the exam Philippine time, so that's 10 p.m. to 10 a.m. I think that's brutal. Also, your school is brutal. Why would you do a test for 12 hours? Uh, anyway, but that's it.
We are
Thank you so
disruptive.
much,
That's why.
everyone. Yeah,
Thank you,
we are
everyone. Have a
disruptive.
good day.
And
Bye for now.
our show
Go
next
for
week, Miss Anna,
it.
you want to plug it?
Mm-hmm. Okay, everyone. Now that we talk about the basic of insurances, there will always be a red flag, and you don't want to miss this too. Episode 8, November 12th, Sunday, 8 a.m. PST time. We are going to discuss insurance red flags. Yes, there are red flags. It will never go away,
Woohoo!
right, DrNursePaul? With
Yes, ma'am.
King.
And we'll see you guys next week. And thank you so much for joining our show. Thank you for everyone who joined us and um I'm sorry, lasted through the end. Thank you so much. And for those who did not join us or were not able to join us this morning, this show is uploaded in my YouTube channel
Mhm.
along with the other shows in the past, episodes 1 through 6. So much wealth of information, learning everything that we've learned as immigrant nurses ourselves, as nurses who have to go through this, and as
Mhm.
administrator of the biggest Facebook group support for immigrant nurses, we're
Yep.
bringing all our expertise to this show. We've already done 6 shows in the past. This is the seventh. You can watch it in my YouTube channel. Go to Dr. Nurse Paul and click the playlist DNP Unlocked, and please watch all these shows. Share this to your friends, tag your friends, and comment so they can see how much information we're shared, and they can benefit from it. Even if you're not here in the US yet, even if you
Yeah.
wanna come
Mhm.
over in the future, I think it's good to do your assignment ahead of time. What we always say
Yep.
as educators, do your advanced assignment. Right?
Yep.
What I did before I come here to the US, I started researching. So when I came over here, I already have game plans. Thank you so much
Mhm.
for joining us. And next week we'll see you in Insurance Red Flags. And that's it. Thank you for joining DNP Unlocked. Thank you, Anna. Thank you,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone. Bye, DrNursePaul. See you guys
Bye.
next week.
Have
Red
a great
flag.
week. Bye.